burst through. It really is bumbling. Oh, wow, there's surveillance footage, and how can we go about it? It is a ham-handed conspiracy, and they are dead to rights. And I'm sure the United States said, look, if you'll testify and just tell the truth about this 24-minute conversation, for example, that de Oliveira had as soon as they found out they wanted surveillance footage, the things with Taveras, they would really be looking at no jail time, maybe no charges at all. And they're not so far. They're staying loyal and following the Robert De Niro advice. But it's terrible personal advice for them. And you have to imagine that a lawyer, it's technically possible, but you just wonder, are they giving them the full advice in their self-interest? Because it doesn't point in the direction that they currently seem to be pursuing.
Peter, what is that? Is it loyalty? Is it fealty? Is it fear? Is it hope that Donald Trump gets reelected and either hires them or pardons them if something happens? Is it the idea, and you must have experienced this in your FBI days, that some of these low-level people can't afford the kind of lawyers you need when the federal government comes at you? What keeps de Oliveira and Nada and Trump employee 4 and Trump employee 5 on one side of this issue as opposed to the other, if there seems to be awareness that a crime was committed by their boss and that they weren't central to the operation?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's a combination of things. Certainly the things that I've read that the media has reported about de Oliveira and Walt Nauta, these aren't particularly sophisticated folks. They are beholden to Trump. They worked, ostensibly very hard, well respected, at their workplace. But at the end of the day, it seems to me that they don't understand the place that they're in. They don't understand the criminal exposure that they're facing. And what's the alternative? If they were to turn on Trump, their representation is going to end, and they're going to have to find presumably new attorneys. If they do that, where are they going to work? They're going to be shut out of Trump world. And at the end of the day, the other thing that's really critically important, we joke a little bit about how much this looks like the mob and organized crime or large drug enterprises, but in my experience, at least major organized crime families typically have some sort of a code of honor. Donald Trump has absolutely no code of honor. There's nothing there that is going to tie him to their interests other than to the extent that they're going to be able to continue to parrot the party line and ultimately do whatever it takes to protect Donald Trump. So I think they're in over their head. I worry that they are getting very poor advice from their attorneys. I worry that there's nobody around them amongst their friends or their family who is savvy enough and educated enough to really be able to tell them just how bad a spot they're in and show them that really right now you've got two options. One is to try and cut a deal with the government, or two, you can follow Donald Trump to jail. And reading the superseding indictment, it is a strong case, and I think both of them have extraordinary peril.
Harry, let me just ask you this, though. In the case of these guys, Nada, de Oliveira, number 4, number 5, does the law, does the public, does the system of justice care all that much? Because we don't necessarily